3, 2, 1. That's
Right.
Right guys, welcome again to Featherstone Castle. Just going to have a wee chit chat, general team chat. Get him from moving the mouth about like a manic man. So basically, first of all, welcome to the video. This is our third weekend we've been here in a row. What do you guys think? Do you think being here 3 weekends in a row has made any difference to activity level, or?
Yeah, I think it
I think personally
I think it has.
Yeah, because I think what it's done is like, I think the more you hear, the more you bring out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we're talking about different things, I know there is the point where you talk about spirit, you bring them in and they come stronger and better. I think it's been proven with this being the third weekend. Last week was fantastic and the week before that was really good, but they're getting better and better.
It seems to get stronger every week, doesn't it? That's what it seems to be every
yeah.
week you come, it seems to kind of heighten as if we're getting used to it and stuff.
Aye.
But I think that's the best thing about concentrating on one location, because you have that bond with spirit,
Yeah.
and they get stronger and stronger.
But I think what it is as well, I think the more you hear, like closer sessions,
Yeah.
you do you not think we're finding out more information?
Yeah.
There seems to be more information coming through rather than the whole bumps and bangs. That's
But the point where I'd like to make on that is where you do get help from spirit,
yeah.
and I know the guests have been on the heard us saying it, but it's like that time where with Isabel, when we were running through and spirit was saying, oh, watch out for Isabel, watch out for Isabel, and we were like, who the hell's Isabel? And it was about 2 or 3 weeks later when it came. I said to Ken, I says, you need to find this Isabel. I says, apparently it's the dark side. She's cutting hearts out of dogs and stuff like that. And then Ken you despair. I'll let you tell him what happened, Ken.
Well,
It's alright, carry on.
I'll edit that bit out.
doing.
Right, Ken.
Basically, what happened was trying to find anything out on the history side of the castle it's a monster task. There's virtually nothing written down. And what you do find is generally it's out there for everybody to see. So when the boss says go and find Isabel, I knew what was lying ahead. Like so, but
Being you, Jill.
I dug away, I dug away, and eventually I found reference to Alexander's will. Alexander being Albany's dad. And
Hang on, that's enough, Ken. We're going to move on now.
Okay,
It's a private joke. Go on, sorry, mate.
it's significant. So it came about in Alexander's will. He'd listed Isabel in his will, and which was a big thing in itself, because illegitimate children generally were swept under the carpet, and they certainly weren't referred to. And for have one named in a will is, well, I don't think that there'll be many cases of that throughout the history, not just in this area. So that was a big thing. So that meant that basically Isabel was Abigail's stepsister.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying though. It's like the help of spirit. When they give you information and stuff like that, adhere to what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to just follow through it. Because sometimes it's like when I've said to people, if you get this name in your head or something like that, or you get this sensation of whatever, speak it out. You need to speak it out, and that's exactly what happened with Isabel. And then we were saying, Spirit was telling, no, you have to get in touch with Isabel, and lo and behold, here she is, as Ken's just explained. And that to me it's brilliant. And now we're moving on to other things now, and I just kind of wait to see what comes out of the history side of it. Like, I mean, it's a hard work for Ken, but I think Ken will get there. But it's like we've gone all over Ken, haven't we? Different places, and it's the problem. What we've got is there's no history on this, not just the castle, it's the whole area, the whole lot. But slowly it's coming. People didn't believe about the witch, and then here it is on the Ordnance Survey map, Witch's Hut, which Simon found. Isn't that right, Simon?
It's on the map, yeah.
So it's there, it's coming.
I think it's good to talk about as well, is obviously with the boards, and the boards ain't listening good.
Speak up.
And the guests think we get a lot of information, sorry, Michelle. The guests thinks we get a lot of information from the boards. It's not the case. The boards can throw you in a totally different direction, can lie, manipulate. So it's always, you've got to be wary about the boards and not always honest. So we don't always get information from the boards.
The boards is there in the room for me and stuff like that. I've done the attic, I've done the blue room, I've done every room in here. And if you notice when you're working with me, I never touch the boards because spirit will come through and the will and the help. I mean, this is a one for you. Last week, up in the attic. I mean, we joked and we said it was ectoplasm, but I'm sure it was spit.
Oh, God.
But I had me back to the staircase. Jill was sitting in the chair and the guests was round the table. Right, Jill?
Yeah.
And then I felt something hit me neck. And then I thought, but it was like a burning bit, and I just put my hands on, torch on, and it was all this slimy stuff. So I
Slimy,
showed,
horrible spit.
and that's what it was. So I wait to see what happens. So I mean, that was unusual though, Jill, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was.
We're just talking about
Horrible.
the activity that we've had recently. We've had a few new spirits come forward, and a few of the kind of ones that we dealt with when we first came to the castle seem to have kind of died away and kind of faded away. How do you think the kind of new spirits are basically going to come forward, and where do you think they fit into the kind of puzzle and jigsaw that we're trying to unmask?
Well, me personally, I think it's what this place hasn't really been done. Once you start in a place like this, and I mean, the research, what Ken and that, even other team members, they were looking, and then you come in, and then you talk about it, look at the amount of team only ones, what we've done. And then eventually, what you do is you open this doorway, and that's what we've done. We've opened the doorway, and then you'll get people, it's like, Black Friday, open the door, get trampled on, didn't they? Not stampled.
Stampled. What's stampled?
There was stampled on.
But it's Saturday today, it's not Friday.
No, I'm saying like, just, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is like you'll get spirit what will rush in, and have a look, and then it'll be like, whoa, these really know what they're doing and stuff like that. And then I wouldn't say they fade away, I wouldn't say they disappear and stuff like that. I think they just take a back seat.
Just step back a bit then, basically.
Exactly, Paul, because the reason I'm saying that is when Simon's mum and dad was up here, and learning about this Mary, which is Mary's a new thing what we're going to look into. Apparently it's a witch and stuff like that, so you'll have to follow with that, like. And that night was just crazy. But one spirit was establishing as your mum as Mary, it brought all them spirits back, Paul. Francis, you know what I mean? It just brought them all back. So they're there. It's just how your approach of what you're talking about and what line of by what century you're going down, which spirit you're on about. And once you get that on, it'll bring it out.
The longer you're here, you're going to get more spirits coming forward because you're talking more spirits come to see what you're doing.
It's
like having a look.
interesting.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what and who comes, and how what the spirits come forward and what little activity you get over time.
So in a way that
does
kind of
change all the time.
that can only add to the kind of appeal of the castle then, doesn't it? In the sense that you're not coming back to find the same stories week in, week out every time you come.
Changes.
We're getting something different in a way. So although if you were here maybe 6-7 months ago and we were coming across Rose all the time, she seems to have kind of died away now, as we all know. So Emily that's here maybe kind of 6 months or even a year ago with us, it's not the same spirits that we're coming across now. It's different stories, it's different spirits every time.
And different spirits come forward at different times. You'll get spirit that stands back for a long time. And then later on they'll come forward, and that's how it changes all the time. Different spirits, different things happening, and I'm really excited to see what is going to happen further down the line.
It's like they come through for a reason when they feel like they need to come back again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Steph said, I think we're just at the tip of the iceberg, really, aren't we, when we're talking in there. And it's you've got to think it's a new location. It's a fantastic location. And what I like about it as well, it's like it's not so much furniture in it as well, where I do know, you know, you get different feelings coming off different furniture, where
Yeah,
you get pulled in from all over the country and stuff like that. Well, this is not, it's what you're getting out of the bare bones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so you
that's
can
what I
get
love about
distracted by any like things like that as well, can't you? So when it's like sort of empty, you're not distracted by anything.
And it's like what I say, it's like now we've got I mean, what are we calling that, a dungeon or a cell?
So
I'd say a cell.
I would say more a sale.
We've got that there, that's like a new little room, and it's
Terrifying.
It's unpleasant.
It's terrifying.
the horned beast.
That
I mean, Steph, you can tell them what we're on about there.
So the horned beast, it actually, so it was more, I got clarification from said horned beast from the week before, when, was the dorms, wasn't it?
Aye.
So the dorms, so I was affected really bad, where I felt like there was someone on my back, and if you were a guest, then Graham caught on that there was something coming over the top of my head, and it was
Make bad. Make bad.
Sorry,
What?
Steph. Oh, sorry, it's just...
just pun.
What is
Is it the beast?
It's the horns in the corner.
Yeah, so it was almost like this thing was giving us like a piggyback, and it made me heart go, and everything was red. And I've had that before, and I thought it was possibly.
Well, I think, I mean, if you touch on that, this red mist, it wasn't just me, it was you, it was a few guests,
people got it,
and you could see it coming
Yeah.
across the room, and it was fascinating, that way.
And then when we're in the cell last week, this spirit was crawling about on the floor, and then Graham picked up that it had like horns on its head, or like a headdress, I think.
I'd say it was like that.
Yeah.
there was a few people starting.
But see, at first, I mean, sorry Steph, but at first, like Jill was saying, I'm going to come meeting the devil. I was like, I mean, Steph as well, oh man, it's not... But it wasn't, it was somebody with a
I don't
headdress on.
understand what you're saying there, you know.
I think they'll know.
Anyone that's been before knows what that is.
But it's like, as Steph was saying, it's not good, because what it was like, it's nice where you get a little bit light, and you just saw this figure, and you could see the horns, and it did look terrifying, but it did scoot off towards the girls, but people could see the movement, especially in the corner where Steph was, so we did have to say, well, sorry Steph, but it's come for you.
Yeah,
And
it was
it's
content that
awful.
was on my back the other week.
And earlier on in the night, in there, Simon had an arm put round him,
There's
didn't
a
he?
chair before that, the chair
The
went
chair,
across.
the chair
Ran across the
toppled
room,
over, ran across it, like, ran across the
Oh, the
room.
arm was like that, wasn't
Alright.
And then the arm got
Couldn't
in.
have been.
Well, it was me and you.
Alright, but you feel its arm going round me, reaching round, I feel its hand reaching around my back, and then I jumped at the same time, grabbed your
Grabbed his fingers, wasn't it?
Oh, jumped.
But I think it just keeps you on the toes when you jump a bit, because like, it's like where people come in, they say, I'm not frightened, it's, nah. You're not frightened because you haven't come across anything what's going to frighten you yet.
No.
There's things in here what will frighten you. It's like this, I mean, me and Jim talked about that, Jill, the corridors to the toilet.
Oh, and Simon, that's a bad place for Simon as
Well,
well.
it is, but I think
Simon runs every time he comes back, doesn't he? He's always panting.
his zip's never up. But what we're saying is, it's like in there, I have dealt with it before, and it's like a black mass of bad energy and stuff like that rolling about, and it's got the same feel on it, Jill. And that's where I mean, that's a thing what we've got to sort out. We've got to sort out these witches, but I think it's with Abigail and the slaughter of the wedding party. Who done the slaughter and who ordered it, who sort of instigated it, and there's loads of questions what we've got to find the answers to.
I think that's the thing that we find, that every week we come and we think we're getting further on in the story, and every time we come we just seem to get more questions than answers. That's what I'm finding. Every week we come we just seem to get another question to answer. How did this happen? Or a new spirit will show up, and it just kind of throws you off the scent of the path that you're trying to go down the line of question, and it just every week it's just something different. Aye.
Well, I think that's what keeps you on your toes though, Paul.
Aye.
And it's like a thing where if you come in and it was the run-of-the-mill stuff every time, you know, and I didn't get us wrong, knocks, bangs, stuff like that. but I want more than that. I want information, I
Yeah.
want answers, I want
It's the thing we've
So
always pushed for as a
we
team,
do,
isn't it?
we do push more and more. We've got tables moving, we've got chairs moving, even with people on. And that's like, I think that's just showing you this is how much energy I've got, like.
Nah, well, just
If
last
I want
weekend,
this
you know,
is what
we
I
had
can
the
do.
table good, didn't we?
What you're thinking?
Before and Steph. Oh God.
It's the horn beast that's sitting there. I'll see her in the room downstairs. No, but it's like Jill's coming in this room that we're sitting in now. When she sat on the coffee table.
Yeah.
And she got her legs swung off and stuff like that. Basically, it was just like didn't sit on the furniture. Because it wasn't nasty, was it, Jill?
No, it wasn't. And then last week and the week before, the bench has been pulled out twice with guests sitting on it. And that wasn't nasty.
Well, to be fair, I was on the bench, it got dragged out last week, and it takes a hell of a lot of movement to shift me on a
It
bench.
was on the ghost tour, and
It was
before the vigil.
me and the two girls that were on the
Oh,
that
that
side of the
was
bench.
tour, wasn't it?
It was on the ghost tour, it was me and the two girls on
And then in the week before, on
Sorry.
the vigil as well, that got pulled out there
That's right.
as well.
Just so you know, me and Simon's what did you get there? Sang like that. No, just something behind us. It's just stupid.
And pull the bench.
I mean, the thing is, people ask you about grounding and stuff like that. It's, you know, I'm so pleased I've got such a fabulous team, what I've got. And I think the bond between all of us is that tight. If you take me on, you take the rest of these on, and it's the same with any of us. You're on your own.
You're on your own.
Of course we will.
The best thing what I love about the team is it's like Paul will have to do a video when we're just up here and just generally waiting for the guests and stuff like that. The banter is out of this world.
I don't think you could put a lot of that stuff.
It's no,
Well, we
it's not
could
gonna
if we
be out
kept
there.
Jill out.
To be fair, we couldn't put a lot of your stuff on, Jill, that was...
No, just me.
Jill, that is so rude.
Where's the fender?
Yeah.
Vulgarity, Gillian.
Saying that.
But the point what I'm saying is, I think we all agree on the bond's very tight with what we've got.
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same hymn sheet. We get on great, but it's the laughter and it's the joke. Now, I mean, even when something serious has happened, we're still laughing about it. and none of us has been possessed or out yet, like. But it's touch wood. It's,
I think that's what.
Well, that brings us on to one of our other points we we're talking about, where like say, we always talk, Graham mentions it all the time, talking about positive vibes and how people come to the castle in the right frame of mind, and if you've had an argument with your loved one, maybe up, leave it at the door and keep that positive energy coming in, because it does seem to help
it does.
with the activity level. And the spirit seems to pick up on if somebody's got a kind of negative vibe, they do seem to kind of shy away from them. And
Well, it's we used to talk about Steph. You really
I'm
jumped
on
in.
it.
It's like what we used to say before about that in life. If you go, you see negative people, you don't want to be beside them.
you stand back.
You like to be with positive people. So
Yeah.
it's just the same. Just the same with
I
spirit.
got wrong off Jill years ago because it's a big thing with me, and I used to say it to people. I mean, when they come over, we used to have a little talk,
Speak up, us.
and I used to say to some people, I says, it's like Paul's mentioned, you might have had an argument with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whoever, your wife, whatever, coming up, or at home and stuff like that. And Paul's right, leave it at the door. So me, I'm a people person as well. And one night I was explaining this to people about the negativity and the positivity and stuff like that. And I just remember I said, did you have sex last night?
Wow.
Last night?
Yes, no,
And Jill just went, well, not bad, but really. And I said, but, what I'm saying is, it's like, you might have had your best tea in the world. You know what I mean? I love a cake, but I can't have one at the minute. Jill, turn that phone off.
I know, I'm sorry.
So, and all it is it's just like, we do go deep, and it's the frame of mind and how people are, the energy levels, the positive and the negative, and you can see, hence, somebody coming in who's stinking of booze, it just doesn't work. It really, really doesn't work. For one thing, it's, I don't know, you can have the pandas dancing half about and they'll just think it's the booze anyhow. and it's like where we've said, as a team, there's stairwells, there's stairs and stuff like that. It's not fair putting that pressure on us as well, in case somebody falls or hurts themselves or something like that. And it just spoils the night. So that's the reason why we don't have alcohol or anything on vigils and investigations. We just don't do it. When you're getting on about these vibes things, I always come in as though it's my first one, and you're so excited, and you're looking forward to seeing your teammates as well, because we all work and that, and it's nice for us. It's a sort, we're knackered, but it's a nice release though, Ken, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
That is a really sad.
We always have our traditional Ken's the chef, and we have some nice
Chef
things.
Ken.
Yeah, we have some nice things off.
What is it?
I mean, his 5 being chilly, it killed us, like put us in hospital, but it was alright.
What I say though, and I don't know if the rest of the team agree or feel the same way, every time, once you leave the castle on a Sunday morning and you've had a week away or a couple of weeks away, I mean, even though we were just here last week, and you think we've been here a few weekends off the belt, you start to get hardened up to it. Once the light goes here, you're right back to that very first time you came here.
Yeah.
And
I
even,
on edge.
even if you think to yourself, oh, I'm used to this and I'm used to that, blah, blah, blah. As soon as the light goes outside, you're right back to day one. Yeah, we're feeling here. So,
You are Ken.
Review score.
are you listening? Jill likes her legs grabbed. Oh, shut up,
Shut up, Ken.
Oh, I have a little big hard Jill there.
I know that the big
You
arm
must have said
shit.
when you were sitting all the way down
Yes,
here.
I know.
I was scared.
Don't worry, Ken. I'll not mention you twerking.
Just talking.
Get your woman in line now.
Demonstration.
I mean, basically, the talk it's just like it's just to keep us up to date of how the team are, how we do, how we cope as well, because nobody really asks, and it is tiring for us as well, and it's the hard work goes in behind the scenes. But to be honest with you, I'm saying hard work. I have such a good laugh with these people, and it gives you the good positive vibes what you want, and then when the guests come. And you just sort of, you're automatically in that mode and you're away, you know what I mean? And I absolutely love it. I do absolutely love it. But it's like as I say, the positive bit, it's a massive thing. It really is. And it's like even the team members, if they're a little bit off or they're not very well or something like that, we do advise that they just stop at home, which we've all, I don't know which way we've done that, you know what I mean? So it's a good point to pick up on is the positive vibes, and Jill's massive on that one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a new one. And then like where Paul was saying with a new room down by the gun room, I think that's like I think that could be a portal of stuff coming in, because can you remember all that corner? And it seems to be something
Seems to be high energy in
Oh,
there.
it's massive. I mean, we had guests standing there, Paul, and they could feel it just as they got in the door. And, it's like Jill. Jill's very brave at putting other people in, but I said, Jill, just get in there and I'll show you something. Oh, yeah. It's not very nice,
I
is it?
don't like that room.
No.
No, I don't like it.
But it's like there again, it's like, we're coming across new places in here, we've got all the dorms as well, Paul.
Yeah.
And we haven't really done all the dorms. We've got the odd ones where we've had activity in.
But we kind of covered a few last week, didn't we, Steph, with some of the new
quite a
dorms,
few.
and it was nice just to get a kind of fresh room.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Just to move on and try somewhere bit different and see what we got. Don't get me wrong, some of them are a bit kind of hit and miss, some are just...
Yeah.
But I've always explained
You always
to people,
got something, but it varies because you need to work at each room.
Aye.
You know what I mean? You need to work at the rooms and...
I've explained to people when they're going about this, that and the other, and it's not the building, it's not the room what's, haunted and stuff like that. It's what you entice in. This is where I've said this
Right time,
before.
right place, innit?
And we've sat there and we've talked, and I mean, I think the best thing what we've had as a whole team, me personally, is the gun room. And that's when we're trying to get a spirit to sit with us in the chair.
Ah, the chair and the table.
And that chair just moved and was saying, it's a good way to see somebody coming out, But when you say, can you put it back in, and it does, that's scary.
We've had that happen a few times though, in different places, haven't we? Checked
Oh, aye.
But what was good about that night was when you said, because you were sitting in front of the fire, you and Steph, weren't you? And you
Always.
said,
Hogging the fire.
can you take the chair over to Simon, if you remember? And we sat and we watched it, didn't we? With the torches on, moved out and it started coming towards you.
What's good as well is that it had moonlight coming through the window so you could see it.
You could see the chair moving on its own across the floor.
But that's what I'm saying though, it's like, that's a high bit, but, I mean, the stuff what we have a team only on, I mean, it's lovely seeing the guests,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But we've got to make sure they're safe when they come into these places and they're dealing with the different rooms what we're in. So it's this lovely team here, you know, it's like we'll go into the rooms, we'll sit in there, we'll see what happens. And we've done that for months, didn't we? Before we let the guests in, the public. But it's still a fascinating thing because we've done a few locations, but I must admit, I still don't like walking about this place by myself, like.
No.
Especially when they'll say, you know, Jill, oh, Graham, I think I've left a glass in the attic. You know, when everybody else is sitting having a cup of tea, we're all wrapped. I think there's a glass in the attic, Graham, can you go and get it?
It's a long way to go.
No, but it's even that walk with the toilets and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
No.
It is a bit, there's something definitely there. And like, I think what we're looking at is, I think we're just on the tip of the iceberg because now we've got these new spirits coming in. But if you notice, they seem to be getting more active, and it's more. It's like what you're trying to explain to people. It's not madness or evil or something like that. Sometimes it's frustration, and it's like in here tables moving. I always take tables moving as like frustration. Or they're trying to get your attention properly, and they're sort of saying, listen to what I'm saying to you. And that's why you have to give a lot of grace to the spirit when they're here. And you have to pay attention, and you have to listen to what they're telling you. And it's like sometimes you might get a visitation, you might get something like, a woman or whatever, a spirit there. It doesn't mean there's a message, it's just they're there. You know what I mean? But people tend to think, well, what's that mean? What is that for? And it's not about that. You know what I mean? It's not. If anybody ever seen my hat moving, my hat's actually getting pulled up again. I pulled that down like you say,
So this will be obviously the last video for the year for us. As we wind down to Christmas time. We do have dates available in January on the 7th and the 21st of January. I believe there's still a few spaces left for them.
Yeah, they're going quick though. But the 7th of January, for those who can't stay awake, we've actually put it on earlier from 6 till midnight.
That's
So this is the one in the 7th of
That's
January
the
from
one
6 till midnight.
Shut up down there, you two.
So what the kids in the
So
nursery?
that's 6 till midnight on the 7th. There's a few booked on there. Emma Morris, who's on the ghost tour, because I think she says it was like too late for her.
So guys, get your spaces booked up. As I say, it's a perfect Christmas present. Just get in touch with Graham or Jill. If you want to do that earlier one, you're more than welcome. I say 6 to midnight. If those that can't stay awake, you're more than welcome. We've got our YouTube channel, as you know. Thanks for all your help for that. We've managed to get it now, so you just need to go into YouTube, type in Uncover Paranormal Team, with the first one that comes up. First and best, to be fair to us. Make sure you hit subscribe on that as well. And thanks very much for joining us, guys. We're hoping to do this again. We'll get another wee one done maybe the next couple of weeks come January, once we come back in January. We'll maybe try and make it a bit more
Do you not think it'd be better if people get in touch and they're finding this and they're looking at this video?
Yeah.
Would it not be good if they could put questions for us?
I was going to say, what
Do you
about
know what I
going live
Yeah,
next time?
what we could do is we
Get
could even
questions.
do it as a kind of questionnaire before it. We can open up like the week before.
Yeah.
And ask guests if you guys would be up for that. We could ask them to put in some questions beforehand about things that you want to know about the castle, about the activity that we've had. You can put that to us.
How long Ken keep his eyes open?
We could stick a post up on the Facebook. We could do that.
Yeah.
Stick a wee post
I
up
think
on the
it'd be good
Facebook
because
the week
I'd like to
before.
get
The interaction,
the questions off them coming in recently, you know what I
We
mean?
could do that. We could certainly do like a top 10 questions or something. So the first 10 people in with a question, we could do
Make
it
sure they direct them all at Jill. She
Do
knows
you
everything.
Do you think we should have a competition again for a team only with somebody to come on?
We could do that in the new year, I would say.
I think we'll have a look at the turn of the year.
Turn the year,
Yeah.
aye.
Whoever bakes me the biggest cake.
Can't eat them, Graham, sorry.
I will be after the next year.
Hey guys, so thanks very much for joining us. Make sure you hit subscribe on that YouTube channel. If you haven't already got us on the Facebook page, which I'm sure most of you already do, make sure you join us on the Facebook page as well. Alright, take care guys.
Add your friends and family to the group as well.
Like, comment and share as always.
Comment,
Ring the little
like,
bell.
comment.
Bye.
Take care guys. See you
Bye.
later.